in mind to do a two-skein shawl. Got the froggy in my throat. Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is September 14th, 2024, and this is episode 109. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 14 and 12. Welcome to any new viewers. I hope you enjoy my little crafty corner here. And thank you very much for coming back to all my returning viewers. I really appreciate chatting with you in the comments. I also have a Ko-fi account, which is linked down below. If you're feeling generous, it just helps with some of the costs of running a podcast. And as well as all of the other links to where you can find me on the internet, such as Instagram and Goodreads. Let's get started, shall we? Today for you, I have some works in progress, some events, and some books. So a pretty quick one, I think, although I usually say that and then I find something to go on and on about. So let's get started, shall we, with works in progress. My first work in progress is one that I have made a ton of progress on, and it is my Whitmoor sweater. So the Whitmoor sweater is a pattern by Amy Loden, and let me show you my progress. So I have knit the collar, which I didn't have before, and I have knit, let's see, where's my marker? So there's my marker from where I showed it last time. I have knit like many centimeters on the body. Maybe 20 centimeters. So I have made some significant progress on this. I have not tried it on again, but I am very happy with how this is turning out. So let's go over some of the details. First, we have the yarn. So I'm using two yarns held together. I have Fireweed Fiber Co's Violet Sock in the colorway 29. And then I also have Fireweed Fiber Co's Anatomy Lace in the Cold Winter Morning, which is a fairly, where's the ball of it? It's a fairly light gray, but there are speckles of, and it's really hard to see in this kind of form, but there are little blips of kind of like a warmish tan color. And anyway, so there is that. And I think it is turning out just beautiful. So last time I had finished the whole lace panel and had knit maybe 3 or 4 centimeters after the lace. And I had tried it on, and I've also blocked the top half of it. So down to about here is blocked. And I think it's turning out just lovely. I did a provisional cast on. The pattern doesn't call for it, but I like the look of the tubular bind off. I also find that it lies nice and flat. I haven't perfected the tubular cast on yet. I have done it before and it looks fine, but I prefer the bind off. And really excited about the neck of this. And it's just a 1x1 rib, so looks great. And then, I've made so much progress on the body of the sweater. You'll see that I've got my fun markers here. I am going to do some increases as my hips are quite a bit wider than the middle section of me. So I've decided to do just a few increases closer to the bottom. They're not going to be super drastic or anything, but just to give myself a little bit more wiggle room. And then it lays flat over my hips, and I like to have them quite long. I wear leggings a lot, so I like to have my butt covered. Oh, and there's a magpie outside distracting me. So I'm only on my second ball of yarn, so I think I've got quite a lot of yarn for this, so I can make nice long sleeves and make it nice and long, which of course is what I had intended to do when I bought this yarn. So. And I'm not alternating skeins like I normally would for a hand-dyed yarn, and I don't see any pooling or flashing or anything. This yarn has been dyed beautifully and I love it. And it's so soft. The only issue is it is very fuzzy. So anytime after I work on it, I had to take one of those sticky rollers and give myself a good cleaning because all the fuzz is there. After I wash it a couple times, the fuzz will decrease and all the fuzz that's there will be contained within the yarn. There's just errant fuzz, and that is part of the way that mohair lace works. Let's move on to my next project. I have a pair of socks that I've been working on. This is my on-the-go project. And I had quite a few parent meetings this week, so I have a bit of progress. So my blue marker here is where I showed you last time. And so yeah, I've probably knit about a couple centimeters there. I am doing a pattern on this sock. This is Hermione's Everyday Sock by Erica Luter. And it's a very simple textured pattern, and I'm quite enjoying it. I did not do the texture pattern on the bottom of the foot, but I will do it all the way around the leg after I do the heel. This yarn is Fireweed Fiber Co. again. I have a lot of her yarn, and I love all of her yarn. This is a colorway called Tea Time, and this is her Sweet Pea sock, which is a superwash merino and nylon. So it's perfect for socks. It's nice and sturdy. And again, like there's no weird pooling happening. All the speckles are really fun colors and evenly distributed. So far, so good. So I do have this split into 2 balls, and so I am knitting them 2 at a time. And I'll probably just use the whole, that's just this skein. I won't do like a contrast heel or cuff or anything, and I'll just use this one color on the sock and see how far I can get up, because of course they're 2 up. So you can just keep knitting until you get close and bind off. And I have one more project, a new cast on. I had wound this yarn up in the summertime, but had not cast it on yet. And I cast on this. So this is a tiny little shawl so far. It will be much bigger. So let's go over the details. This is Asunder by Lisa Much. The cord is getting all tangled here. And it's kind of a crescent-ish shape, like an elongated crescent, which is a style of shawl I like to wear. It wraps around the neck nicely and hangs nicely. And then you can also wrap it around your arms more like a wrap if you get cold or whatever, and it can cover, you know, a large portion of your upper arm if you're chilly. And the yarn that I'm using, it calls for 2 balls of fingering weight yarn. I have had these 2 skeins in my stash for so many years with plans of doing a 2-color shawl with these 2. I think they match so nicely together. This gray has a bit of a purplish undertone. There's a bit of a brown undertone. I don't know how well it's picking up on camera. So this one is called Weimaraner, and this one is Arctic Midnight, and like the teals and the purples is just my colors. The light blue just sets it off. There's white, there's a bit of like pinky purple in there, and some really dark colors. This is their merino silk fingering, so it is soft but also super drapey, so it is perfect for a shawl. All right, I think I've waxed poetic enough about that. There's not much to speak of yet, and this was hard to decide which color was going to be which, but I really wanted this brighter color to be the most of the main section of the shawl, because it will most likely hang in the front. So that's what I decided with. And then there are stripes of the other color, as you would see in the picture that I'm sure I put in at some point of this. All right, that is it for whips. Let's move on to events. I am currently participating in 2 events. The first one is the Colors of Fall Knit Along, hosted by the Yarniacs, and you can find a link to their website down below if you're interested in joining. It's not too late. Basically, you knit something that you would wear in the fall and then style it in the way that you would wear it, or if it's like a pillow or something, style it in the way you would have your house styled in the fall. You know, maybe some leaves or some fall candles or something fun like that. I am hoping to finish my Whitmoor sweater, and it has to be done by the 22nd, so it's a bit ambitious, but I made a lot of progress on the body this week, so I don't think it's not doable, but it is a bit of a stretch goal. So should have been working on it earlier in the year, but I had other things I wanted to work on. So that's how it goes sometimes. But I have enjoyed seeing everyone's projects, and that is wrapping up soon. I'm also participating in the Down Cellar Studio Pigskin Party for 24-25. And I have done this knit along for a lot of years. We're currently doing the tailgate talk. So this knit along rotates around the NFL football season. And so it's great to get to know people, and tailgating is a part of football in that you go before the game and, maybe cook some food and hang out with people in the parking lot. And this is kind of the same thing, but getting to know other people in the knit along. So super fun. You should check it out. I'm posting every day on Instagram as well as in my team on the Ravelry threads. And super fun. And the other two projects that I'm working on, the socks and the shawl, will both count towards that. So all good things. Let's move on to books. I know that last week for books, I had a lot to report, but that was because I hadn't updated you in a while. But this week I do have one finished book. It is United as One by Pittacus lore. This is the last one in the I Am Number 4 series, and it wrapped everything up nicely, and everything is good. I mean, obviously, any sort of, global conflict is going to change how the world works, but all the characters have happily moved on with their lives, remembering those fallen in the books and all that kind of stuff. It was a nice wrap up. Of course, there was a big battle and all of that kind of fun stuff, as you have in these sci-fi type books. But it was very enjoyable. I'm glad I've read it. It was a very enjoyable series, and I would recommend reading the whole thing. They're also pretty quick reads because they are a YA, and not that. Each book is not that long. Not like Red Rising, which I'm hesitant to get into the next set of because the books are big. They're really big. I did want to quickly also talk about some book acquisitions that I got. So it was my husband and I's anniversary this past week, and we don't normally do gifts, but he felt like buying me some books. So I got are they up here? I don't know where they are at the moment, but I got the A Court of Thorns and Roses complete hardback set, as well as the first 3 in the Expanse series, and they are the 10-year anniversary editions, so they have really cool sprayed edges, and I will put some pictures in so you guys can see them. And I got a collector's edition of the first book in the Throne of Glass series, also by Sarah J. Maas. So I feel very spoiled, and I've got some lovely books to read and reread at my leisure now. So that is it for books, and that is all I have for you this week. I will call that good for an episode, and I guess it was a short one. And we will see you guys again next time. Bye.